in the middle of a deep forest, where every step can lead to danger. Have you ever wondered how to survive if you're trapped here? No phone, no food, no water. It's just you in the wild. Today, we're going to face a real survival challenge. Building a shelter. Find water and create fire. With my own hands. This is not a game. It's a skill that can save your life. In a critical situation, let's discover the secret of survival. In the deep forest right now, programs for people over 18 years old. If you are under 18, please do not watch. Letting you into a heterosexual stranger without clothes. Survive in the wild for 3 weeks, without bringing food and water. How many days can you survive? This time, players not only successfully complete the challenge, but also caught a small crocodile size xnx.com. A high-calorie meal and a 2-meter-long gnaw. And a catfish that weighs 4 kilos. How did they do that? This challenge site in the Lupanuni swamps of South America. It's called the biggest crocodile paradise in South America. You don't just have to face hundreds of crocodiles, but also mosquito, snakes, rats and ants will also be a challenge. Kevin is a retired commando. Through the jungles and swamps in the military. All year round for me this challenge is like going out. If the player Rose is a nurse, her biggest hobby is fishing and outdoor hunting. Purpose of participating in the challenge, just to prove your ability to survive in nature. Soon that's met in the swamp. To be safe, you must leave as soon as possible, because the water is full of crocodiles. Not long after departure, Rose could not go on because she was tired. You want her rest in place. Kevin hurriedly cut down some tree branches to set up camp. After a few minutes of hard work, the people have built a luxury wilderness camp. This is a cold love story. A hut with 2 golden hearts in the wilderness. By carrying screen, so you're no longer worried about mosquito bites at night. To the night they were quietly together, pum ba la pum. Mastered all night. Suddenly not paying attention, Kevin was bitten by something. A closer look turned out to be a colony of ants. Baby, you and Rose will rebuild the shelter. But soon after, the weather changes without warning. When we set up camp, it rained heavily. This is what upset Kevin. It was raining for hours with no sign of stopping. There's no choice. Both can only take risks. With the cold, continue to camp. The night falls. Both of you have to fight to keep your body warm from getting cold. Wake up the next day. Rose said there was no fire last night. She found it difficult to keep warm with Kevin. I didn't go to the market and ran out of money. Kevin said nothing after hearing this. I made Rose a bikini. You're so happy to try it. To thank Kevin for his help, Rose took the initiative. The most important task is to light a fire. Simply rub the wood for a while. You successfully lit the fire. There was fire, so people have to find food to replenish their protein. Kevin went out, wandering in the woods almost all day. I found out there's a bunch of chestnuts. Peel it off and it's a real interesting surprise. Goes back running after peeling off raw. It's a delicious meal. Bite a piece of sweet and sour saw. It's such a delicious thing. Kevin had a thought. I want to make a delicious roasted chestnut pie. After eating, the two of them took the curtain to the river to catch fish. After a long time of work not seeing a clove, for not catching a single fish. The next day Kevin made himself a trap to catch fish. He took bamboo and bark and woven it into a fish basket. After a while, a simple trap is done. Open your mouth and wait. That's not Kevin's style. I'll turn myself into a weapon. After a few minutes of hard work. What is right hip? All of a sudden, you caught a big catfish. Back to camp on fire for 2 minutes. Just one word, it tastes good. It aches the armpit after eating enough. At night, both of you are like a dead body. Plunge into worldly fun. The next day Kevin came to check the trap. Out of expectation on the inside, trapped a small crocodile. I wanted to eat alligator salad, but I realized I'm here. Got mustered back to camp with a barbecue. Rose can't wait to taste it. Wild crocodile meat is amazing. Tastes much better than farmed meat. To make life more interesting, Rose is even more special. Make a love chair for Kevin. It soon came to the 10th day. Wandering in the woods for hours, Kevin caught a small water snake. Put it directly on the stove to make a smoked snake. The butcher in the kitchen must order this from his grandfather. That's more protein than beef. After eating, Kevin was charged for the night. Two people are playing a game tonight. I can't believe it's raining hard. It's been raining for days. It's now leaking in the camp, wetting the foliage. Kevin only knows how to protect Rose with his body. Two people were in camp for days in a row. It's finally time to evacuate. The evacuation point is a village 6 kilometers away. Want to go there, also have to cross a large swamp a few hundred meters, then walk through a primeval forest. Study the map carefully. Both of you leave immediately. Faced hundreds of crocodiles along the way. Both can just take a detour and stop. After an hour of walking, they both finally reach the evacuation point. With the arrival of the show cars are coming. They both successfully completed the challenge and take home the $100,000 bonus. If you take on such a challenge, do you dare to join? In the next section, it's crazy to live in this wilderness. Take 2 men and a woman into the forest. Don't you wear any clothes on your body. 2 boys have to fight to win the heart of the beautiful. Who can win a girl's heart? Survive in 21 days can be divided evenly $300,000 United States dollars bonus. Can they succeed in the challenge? The first is Mike with his hair back. I'm an outdoor sports blogger. I often travel alone. Take your dog with you wherever you go. You're very good at building and hunting. Is a man who's handsome and big. Beauty and the prize you want. Female player named Rose. She lived alone in the mountains for 7 years. Alone but very powerful. She also has a dog that has been around for years. Looking at it this way, it seems to suit you very well. She knows a lot about plants. Definitely a good hand at digging wild vegetables last year. The last player to appear was Kevin. Even though your appearance is a bit wild. But Kevin's a melancholic boy with a sensitive soul. You're an environmental protection officer. Join the program. It's about asking the audience to love nature. This challenge site is in northern Colombia. The daytime temperature here is almost 40 degrees Celsius. It'll cool down to about 5 degrees at night. This forest is not only inhabited by jaguars, and there's a poison dart frog. That's enough to kill a cow. The knot here is typical of South America. If you don't have strong survival skills, so break it. 3 people meet in the forest. Even though the air is a little embarrassing, but Rose was as happy as the new year. Because you're about to be smashed everywhere. Kevin started muttering in his heart. I don't think I'm as handsome as you. How to touch the heart of a beautiful person. The challenge hasn't started yet. The momentum is half lost. Program team provide BA tooling as always. A parachute knife and ignition stick. According to the directions of the map, Ba needs to go north. Building shelters in the upper reaches of the river. The road in the forest is very bumpy. It's all rugged rocks. Fortunately, the target is not far away. After a while climbing the mountain, 3 people have reached the upper reaches of the river. This empty land, it's perfect for building a shelter. Kevin proposed to build a 1-meter high farm floor. But Mike feels like it's too much trouble. Just build a tent. Kevin wasn't happy from the beginning. I think Mike's targeting me. Mike and Rose are busy building camp. Kevin felt isolated. The more you think alone, the worse you feel. When I finished, I immediately cried. Mike and Rose don't know what's going on. And seeing Kevin cry was a bit confusing. But the most important thing is in front of you, is to build a shelter. They both used stone to design a tent. Kevin's mood finally returned. I started to quietly light a fire alone. In theory, starting a fire is your special skill. But this time, over and over again as well. Can't group. Rose finally came to the rescue. Kevin is even more upset now. It wasn't long before Rose started the fire. Kevin quickly filled the bamboo pipe with water. At least you're still able to boil water. And soon they started building shelters. 3 people work very fast. In less than an hour. Mosquito nets have been put up. Drink some water and rest well. Everything's fine so far. At night when I go to bed, Rose is in the middle. Mostly, she wants to try the 2-handed banana peeling sensation. Like a mountain, there can be no to tigers. A great war is inevitable. Wake up the next morning. I went out to find food for my teammates. Look at the terrain around the camp, by the way. Kevin and Rose slept near noon to wake up. Look, last night was really exhausting. Rose felt pain all over her. Use the warmth to relax. There are 2 wonderful men. Be ready for a long fight. Tomorrow I pick 2 wild fruits. Taste a piece, found it quite sweet. Bring it back to feed Rose. Kevin can only do the work of fetching water. I want to win over Rose too. You really have no other ability. Afraid of the opposition, when Mike pulled out the wild fruit he'd found, Rose in the blink of an eye turned into a small 3. Is there a man like that who doesn't love? And poor Kevin's more and more like a foster brother. That's a completely pathetic 7. Rose plans to make a filter. She puts coal in a bamboo tube and she uses it as a filter. Take water from the river and pour it directly into the filter. It's much faster than burning a fire to heat water. Time to night. While preparing for a dramatic exchange of emotions, I can't believe the forest turned to the roar of the jaguars. To disturb the BA to rest to avoid the jaguars. Now they can only peacefully sleep. The next morning Mike was the first to wake up. It's good to get up early and exercise. Mike wants to find more wild fruit for breakfast. But it's been a long day. I also only found 1. I hurriedly brought this fruit back to Cho. Rose wants to open both her mouths to smile at you. Mai is really good at herding chicken. And Kevin on one side can just sit and be jealous. Face but not satisfied. Love 1. Mike never has a moment to spare. I don't just want to win Rose's heart. I have to take care of Kevin. Relatively useless people. Meanwhile, Kevin thinks about love every day. I admit I like Rose. But I feel like I'm out of luck. The busier you are tomorrow, the more you feel bad about it. I swore to destroy this enemy. I found a lizard on the rock. This is a good opportunity to be kind to Rose. I picked up a stone and threw it. I can't believe the lizard didn't even notice you. It's a shame for Kevin. What a coincidence, Mike also found a lizard in the forest. I also picked up a stone and threw it. They can easily defeat their prey with 1 blow. This is the power gap. Kevin is talking to Rose. You said you almost caught a lizard. Just another 0.1 millimeters. Now Mike's back with a lizard. Rose gave me a loving embrace. Kevin feels like a clown. You and the doctor. But it was enough for these 2 men to win. Break it. But this charcoal grilled lizard meat smells good. Time to Thursday. Kevin also started working hard. Rose gave him a hug as a reward. Michael next to angry purple face. Mike went out more desperate to find food. You're going to beat your competition, Kevin. The result of climbing the mountain pass and rolling back and forth for a few days, Mike is tired. Kevin is meditating right now. I want to compete with Mike. To see who could starve longer. Rose practices yoga every day obsessively. Tomorrow I finally understand that you are just a tool. Everything love is put aside. Only getting the bonus is the most realistic. At midnight, I'll clean myself out tomorrow. I slept by the fire all night outside the camp. I don't want to pay attention to these 2 useless bastards. 3 people quickly argued. The fragile balance has been completely disrupted. But survival must continue. Even for the bonus, they have to cooperate. It's just that Rose and Kevin can't mess around anymore. 3 people agreed that no AI should be lazy. Men and women will sleep separately tonight. But not hugging each other to bed in the middle of the night would be cold. Rose figured out a way to keep warm. First spread a layer of coal on the ground. Then spread a layer of bamboo on top. This method is very effective. They're no longer huddled together at night. A few days later, the 2 men went out looking for food. Lazy Kevin took this job, too. There's too many coconuts to pick. With these coconuts, the challenge will be easier. Everyone. Kevin finally found his worth. What tomorrow can't do. On the 14th day I saw the sky. BA people collect 10 lots of palm leaves to reinforce the roof. They have to make sure that half won't be extinguished by the rain. There was thunder that night. 3 people were awakened by the sudden rain. Fortunately, they took precautions. It's very safe to hide in a shelter. On the 17th we went out looking for food. Tomorrow we find a giant iguana on the ground. I used a tree branch to push down the antelope. Kevin rushed up and took it back to where 8 streams. The salamander weighs about 9 pounds. You will have no problem eating. After processing, hang it directly on the fire. Nearly 20 days finally had a big party. Fragrant outside and soft inside, the taste is great. Every bite is unforgettable. Time to day 20. Next they need to rest well. Prepare for evacuation day tomorrow. Rose and Kevin also prepared for the celebration. Start practicing yoga. Then thank nature and thank you for the big one. Tomorrow confused by the actions of these two teams. As a normal person, you can't play with them. The time finally came on the 21st. After drinking some water, they left immediately. Because the last few days the food was so NT0. It is not difficult to walk through the forest. They walked along the hillside for 2 hours. Not much rest on the way. They soon arrived at the evacuation site. The program team's truck is approaching. This BA love is finally over. Congratulations to all BA for successfully challenging and get a $100,000 bonus. Right hip. Let you into a stranger of the opposite sex going into the wilderness to survive for 21 days. Don't get dressed. Do not bring food and water. Male main, CAI is a veteran with a big black body. You have a lot of survival skills. So, I'm very confident in completing the survival challenge. If the player is Carla, she's been a survival expert since she was a child. Join the challenge this time. In addition to winning awards, you want to be friends with the opposite sex. You're all too familiar with wildlife. This time in the Himalayas, North India. There's a huge temperature difference between day and night. There are many dangerous wild animals like monkeys. Come on. Here, humans are at the bottom of the food chain. They met on a small hill. The law found CAI is a big fangs, tall, black, smelly. I am so glad you met the right guy. CAI is not expected. I want to meet a white girl. Beautiful girl under the law. Program, allowing each person to carry a survival kit. The law carrying lighter. Kai carrying a small axe. Both of you, take the map out. They need to go up the hill to find the right place. The higher the camp gets, the thinner the air gets. It can also accelerate the symptoms of dehydration. Breathing will be harder. As soon as the mules climbed halfway up the mountain, you're starting to lose your breath. After a while, they both arrived at their destination. I see the time is getting dark. Two people just built a simple hut. And then a little fire. The first night we talked for a while, and then took a break. Early the next morning the two walked up the stream. I hope I can find clean water. Slow down. There's water halfway there. Sai thinks there is no need to waste energy to go up. Drinking water has certain risks. But Kla is severely dehydrated, so you don't care much. Go up and drink water. And the consequences of doing so are clear. A moment later her stomach began to get upset. I can see it in front of my eyes and it hurts in my heart. I want to help you. To quickly restore the health of the law. CAI dug a small hole by the small stream, so that the water will seep through the soil like a filter. Toxic impurities will be filtered out. It can also replenish the lost water. I also rebuilt the shelter. The wind is still shaking because of the cold. Sai doesn't know what to do right now. Impotent. I just know how to keep warm with you. The next morning, vomiting and diarrhea of the law. Still not reduced, the emergency team came to check. But diagnosed with dysentery. It takes a few days to relieve the symptoms of vomiting and diarrhea. Kai knows this. And for Carla's safety, I advise you to consider going home. But Carla's personality is not easy to give up. Her personality was fed to her last breath. Time to the 6th day CAI exercise in the early morning. That day, the two of you had an argument about some small matter. At night, when they are angry with each other, the children make peace. Despite the heat of the fire. But it's still very cold at night. After discussion, they decided to reinforce the camp again. Large bark is a good material to cover the wind rain. They use stone to make a fireplace. Dramatic work at night is no longer afraid of the cold. And Kai raw foraging stream. A crab walking in the stream. I don't know the danger is coming. Kai took it directly to heaven. Back to camp, to people make crab. Baby, baby, baby. It's getting harder and harder to find food. Your only source of food is crabs. Under the stream half a month has passed. They found a dead bird by the stream. It seems to be infected. To survive to the last day. You don't care much. Take it home and run. They didn't want to eat at first. It's like watching a roasted bird meat flutter. Her tears flowed out from the corners of her mouth, until the 17th to stay warm at night. They picked up more wood. A storm comes at night. but they both keep warming by the fire. Time to day 19. No protein for days. Trees that can only eat the leaves of sand trees are no exception. But we both think it's better to eat leaves and vegetables more than fish. Talk to each other heavily. After the suffering finally came the 21st. But unfortunately, Carla's dysentery came back. And to people 8 kilometers from the evacuation point. According to the law, whether you can survive to the 21st. But you have to the new evacuation point is counted as completed, with personalities that don't allow themselves to give up on the law. After 2 hours of strenuous walking, we both reached the evacuation point and successfully completed the survival challenge, 21 days in the wilderness, and get a $100,000 bonus if you take on such a challenge. Do you want to join? Tell me out loud below the comment. Survival analysis and lessons. In the wild, it's not just a physical challenge. It's also a test of intelligence and ability. Adaptation of humans. After this journey, we can learn a lot of valuable lessons. 1. Water. If it's good enough, if it's not good enough to eat, people can survive for days. Even a few weeks. But if there's a lack of water, your body will rapidly deplete after just 2.3 days. So when you're in a survival situation, finding a clean water source always have to be first. Remember that water from the river, streams can contain bacteria and parasites. So filter the water and boil it before drinking is very important. 2. Fire, the source of life among nature. Fire doesn't just help cook food. It keeps you warm. They can protect from wild animals. And it's even a way of signaling for help. One of the most important skills in survival. Learn how to make fire by methods such as using flint, rubbing stick, or magnifying glass. If there's no lighter or match, always remember how to use natural materials, as drywood, leaves, and sap to ignite. BA. Shelter, life protection shield. Many people get into dangerous situations, often panic and ignore the importance of the place. Shelter, but reality. A good shelter that will help you avoid the rain and wind, animals, and keep heat for the body. In cold conditions, when building a shelter, choose a safe location. Avoid low-lying areas prone to flooding and places that show signs of activity of wild animals. For spirit. Critical factors of survival. It doesn't just depend on skill. It also requires a strong spirit. In the face of danger, people who stay calm, logical thinking, and have a clear strategy, they usually have a higher survival rate. In extreme situations, fear and panic can get you. People who make the wrong decisions, leading to serious consequences. So learn to control the psyche. Stay awake and find a solution. It's very important. The most important lesson is that the jungle is not the enemy. It's a challenge. Let people discover their own limits. It's not physical strength, it's wisdom. New knowledge and improvisation abilities. It's the key to survival, but not hugging. Always be prepared. Never stop learning. And equip yourself with basic survival skills. Then one flows, because you'll never know when these skills can save your own life or loved ones. Same delivery. If you like this vi, leave a comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Do not miss the fascinating survival challenges. See you next time on new adventures.